Time keeps on leaving and we keep on moving. When do we pass on our wisdom to the youth? My veteran story, lost arts discussions, fireside chats with a bourbon or two. It's time to hear the stories by military veterans. Get yourself ready. It's the Lost Arts Podcast. The Lost Arts with Andrew Cox. Hello, my friends, and welcome back to the Lost Art Podcast. On today's episode, we're going to have a fireside chat with a crew. So we got everybody here. It's going to be exciting. I know we're going to talk about some good stuff this week. But if you're enjoying these podcasts as much as we enjoy them, then make sure you go to the lostart.podbean.com. Go check out the website, see what we got going on there. Click on that merchandise tab. Go get you a cool hat. Get you a cool mug. Here's the hat, right? There's one of the hats. Here's a cool mug. Aaron, you need to say something so the mic or so it'll go to you real quick. You got to say something, Mike or Aaron.
And this is one of the if I can get in the camera, this is one of the nice shirts.
There's the shirt. Yeah, buddy. So make sure you go and get you something like that. Help support the podcast here, get our veteran voices out for all to hear. Don't forget, if you want to be a guest, you can always email me directly at thelostart@gmail.com. And we are also on YouTube as well as many other platforms. So yeah. Oh, speaking of platforms, I discovered today, this is for the crew, but I'm going to go around in a second, but I discovered today that when I hit submit on Podbean, it was not transferring over to Spotify. And that's because Spotify wasn't allowing video. So I'm having to take all the audio from all of my videos and put on Spotify. So that was an interesting thing I learned today, but I'm on top of it. Eventually they'll all be there. I'm working it. Yeah, I'm about a quarter of the way there right now. So we'll see. Anyways, I got the crew here. We'll go around Robin, see how everybody's doing. We have all fathers here. So as they go around, Robin, you can tell us about Father's Day and what happened and what you did. So we'll start with Mike. Go ahead, Mike.
I see. You put me on the spot. I see how it is.
That's right.
Now, I had a good Father's Day weekend. I got to go out to Washington State, Bellingham, Washington. My son graduated from college finally, and got to see him. His girlfriend who lived with us for a little bit. She's back out there, but got to see my father-in-law, an Air Force veteran I hadn't seen in a couple of years, and my wife's sister and her niece, and had a good time. Got to see his graduation Saturday, Friday, the day before. My son and my father-in-law went to the gun range, got to shoot guns, while all the ladies went and spent money and, had the graduation Saturday, went out and ate. Sunday, went to a Mariners Rangers game, had a good time. I can't complain. Nice. It was a good time.
Yeah, you definitely did way more than I did. That's for sure. Yeah. All right, Aaron, how are you?
Well, I wish I would have went to a baseball game, but no. For Father's Day, I received a few gifts. This gift was a little bit late, but I got it today, so I'm wearing it for the show here.
I like that. You're representing. That's good.
Yeah. You can't really see it. I know I showed y'all earlier, but I did get me a little bit of a black eye on Father's Day for my dog. So he said Happy Father's Day and dotted my eye there. Other than that, I was going to say, Mike, you mentioned the price of beer at baseball games earlier. I was going to say, the tickets are cheaper for baseball games, so you will spend the money on all that stuff. So maybe we can carry that conversation on later, but that's what I was going to tell you earlier.
Yeah, I think we should carry that conversation on for sure. Maybe that'll be the first thing we talk about is baseball. It'll be good.
All right.
All right, Vic.
Well, let's see. First of all, this week we are smoking a Fuente, Arturo Fuente, Rosado Grand Reserve. This is in a, let's see, this isn't quite, and I'm not sure what size this is. Um, it's not quite 50 and 5. But it's a nice. It's starting off kind of peppery a little bit. Hopefully it mellows out. It's almost got a little bit of a licorice taste to it too that I'm not real fond of. I've never smoked this one before, so I'll give you a post cigar at the outro when we leave. My Father's Day was pretty non-eventful. I spent a very productive day out in the wood shop. Let's see here. And let's go there. That is
Yeah, 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 yeah.
gun cradle for the guy across the street that has an M1 Garand. So it turned out pretty well. I'm just waiting for the placard to show up, and then I'll be able to give it to him. So I'm getting a placard that says M1 US M1 Grand, years of service, 1936 to 1957. I'm going to put that on there at the bottom. But yeah, so right now in my gun safe, I got a M1 Garand sitting there and itching to shoot it because he still fires it. He uses it in competition. So I'm going to see, hey, I made you this gun rack. Why don't we take this thing shooting? Kind of thing. We'll see. But he's also an authorized dealer, and he was an armorer in the Marine Corps. He retired as a CW04. He was the gunner for the ranges out at Paris Island. But
No kidding.
so
Wow, that's cool.
the actual deal is I'll make you the gun rack, and if I have an upper and lower receiver sent to you, will you put it together and do some work on the trigger? And he said sure. So that's the deal. So that was my weekend. It was a good weekend. Andrew,
Very
you?
nice. Yep, I didn't do much of anything. Let's see. Sunday I went swimming. Then I went fishing, and that's about it. Sat around,
When was the last time
did
you went
nothing.
fishing? Holy cow!
Oh, I've been since I've been here in Oklahoma, there's a pond right over there, and I've been going over there pretty regular. I was telling the other two earlier before you jumped on that Taylor, we just went fishing right before we started the podcast here, and she skunked me. I got zero, and she got two largemouth bass, and the second one was decent size on a rod
Wow.
that's about this big. I mean, it's an itty bitty guy. But yeah, she did reeled him in, did the whole thing. Maddie caught a largemouth bass, a really big bass the other day too. So they're the Great American Fisher Girls.
Yay.
I'll sing this
Good for
song.
them.
The Great American Fisher Girls, they'll fish anywhere. Anywhere there's water, you know that they'll be there. That's all I know. Sorry, yes. I can't do anymore.
So it sounds
Speak,
like for Father's Day, everybody had a whole lot of America going. A little
yeah,
bit of
America.
baseball, beer
America.
drinking,
Yeah,
shooting guns, building, doing some woodworking to build gun racks, and fishing,
as it should be. As it should
as
Heck
it
be.
should
yeah.
be,
Yeah,
Heck yeah.
Smoking cigars. Yes.
and getting
that's
black
right.
eyes. Yeah.
And yes, all the American things. Speaking of America, let's talk baseball. Aaron, you were wanting to talk a little bit about baseball. So go ahead.
Well, Mike kind of kicked it off earlier when we first got on here and was mentioning about, one of his gifts. He got to go watch a baseball game. It was the Mariners and somebody, I'm sure he'll remind
Rangers,
us.
yeah.
Rangers, there we go.
Yep.
But, America's pastime, right? It's fun to get out and enjoy that kind of stuff. But as Mike was saying, the price is a little ridiculous. It sounded like you paid forked over a little bit of money for a few beers there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Tell us about your spending habits there, Mike. What happened at the ball game?
It was just once we got there, went up to our seats, and we got there about 20 minutes before the game started. And I was like, well, let me go down and get my beverages and some peanuts, and $50 later. And then my son was like, where'd you get those? I said, oh, just down the stairs there. Went over there to the Corona Shack, and He goes, oh, if you'd gone over there, and that's one thing that the Mariners that ballpark has done is they set up I guess they call it the budget section where a beer's maybe, it's like, I don't remember exactly now. It's like $6, which is a heck of a lot better.
He froze up. I agree. It
He
is a heck
froze
of a
up
lot better.
as he was getting to
Yeah,
the good part.
I know. I know he's gonna have to go back and hit it. I think Mark was rubbing off on Mike when it came to the government jumping down and cutting them
Yeah,
off.
yeah, yeah,
I
Mike,
could
you're
hear you
back.
guys talking, but I just disappeared. So,
yeah.
but anyways, I didn't go to the budget section. He goes, yeah, if you just walked over there. So finally, I was like, okay, well, let me walk over there. I'd exhausted my 3 tall boy Coronas. I was like, it's time to walk over there. I get over there and the line's wrapped around. I was like, no, I'm not doing that. And my son,
Yeah,
he was like, he wanted, because they had, what was it? It was one place had clam strips or something. He's like, well, I'm going to go get, it's not really something I would think about at a ballpark getting clam strips, but they had
No.
clam strips and chicken strips or something like that. And he's like, well, I'm going to go over there. And that was like the 4th inning. He showed back up like top of the bottom of the 7th inning. It's like, where the
Oh
hell did you
wow.
go, dude? And he's
he was
like,
in line the whole time.
yes. And he's like, I don't even want to talk to anybody right now. I just, and it's like, where you been? And I said, you have to make him. He's like, Dad, just stop. Just stop. I don't want to talk. I've been dodging people standing on line. Yeah, I was like, okay. I was like, well, you're the one who just had to have clam strips, not me, and it was garlic fries or something like that. And he goes, you want some? I'm like, no, I'm good. I don't want it. He's like, he was so upset. He's like, I walked all the way up. I was like, I didn't ask you to get it for me. You got it for you, your girlfriend, and your mother. I'm like, I'm sorry. He's like, I said, you missed the best part of the game. He's like, yeah, I heard. I was like, okay.
Oh man, that's funny. That reminds me when I was a kid and we went up to my cousin's wedding in Washington. I got to go see the Mariners play, and my sister's one that got us the tickets. And so we sit through the ball game, and we leave at like I think it was like the bottom of the 7th, I think. And my dad was like, "We're leaving. We're gonna beat the rush and get back to the hotel." By the time we made it back to the hotel, turned on the TV, there was a huge fight, like cleared both benches, and they were like duking it out on the field. And we missed the whole thing. I was devastated because we missed the fight. But yeah, that was my Seattle Mariners story right there. Good
Yeah,
times.
So,
that was something that the couple of ball games I went to as a kid to the Pirates, see the Pirates, and that was it. It was like 2 ball games. I went with my dad, my mother, and hell, we weren't even in the 6th inning. He's like, all right, it's time to go. We got to get out of here. It's like, okay,
Yes, yes.
let's go.
Yeah, it was my dad. Oh man.
so the,
So
the inquiring minds want to know, Mike. So tickets plus beers and food. How much were you out for a night at the ballpark?
Well, surprisingly, I was talking about it before we started really on the podcast, but the tickets on the third base line, I mean, we're literally on the third base line, second row up. The way that stadium is built, it it's not high, and I can't honestly explain it. I have to look it up, but it's not as high as the rest of them. But they have regular bleacher seating. It's not a seat, you sit in and all that. You're sitting on bleacher seating, but the way it's set up, there's no issue with looking over people. If you're leaning forward, you don't have somebody yelling at you or, stuff like that. And I didn't really ask until we were in the middle of the game, and I leaned over my wife. I said, how much are these seats? Because they were actually, to watch the game, were great. I was like, these are really good seats. She goes, $45 a piece. And I was
That's
like,
reasonable.
get out of here. I was like, seriously? Yeah, but they got us on
Yeah,
$12 beers, you know. So
beer and peanuts.
yeah. But
They
I
knew
mean,
you
we
were
even
coming.
yeah.
Clam
But I
strips.
mean,
Yeah,
yeah.
clam strips.
But you know, our son and his girlfriend, you know, she's from out there and they've gone to multiple games. So they knew where to park and stuff like that. Yeah, we had to walk, but it was like 15, 20-minute walk. And it was $10 to park.
That's not bad.
You know, no, I mean, I needed the exercise and it really wasn't that big of a deal. You know, we walked back, you know, it wasn't any big issue. You know, the park in the new parking garage they built right across from it. If you book it in advance, it's like $40 to park for the game.
Oh wow.
But I mean, you literally walk across and you can get in right away. But
Mm-hmm.
I mean, but I was $10 was fine with me for a 15, 20-minute walk. I was like, okay, you know. But I mean, all in all, yeah, it was maybe a couple $100, but all said and done. But you know, it was well worth it. But I mean, like I said, we've gone to Braves games and parked up there. We couldn't go to a game and come back out for less than four. You know, you can afford $500 to get to a Braves game. So I couldn't.
So I don't know if you guys seen this, but I was watching Netflix, which is what I do, you know, when I'm laying around doing nothing. Uh, when
No,
I'm
we haven't
supposed to
seen
be
you
doing
watch
other
Netflix.
things. I should put up a video because you'll see me laying on the couch sleeping half the time. But there was a documentary on Yogi Berra, which is a fantastic documentary. I mean, it is really, really good. And they talk about his career and interviews with his family and really a lot of famous baseball players and stuff that were with him. But man, incredible. I think how many he won like nine pennants or something. Got nine rings while he was playing, if I'm not mistaken. And then he coached and won several more. I don't remember how many he got total, but yeah, it's a great documentary if you guys are bored and have nothing to do.
Well, that was the Yankees heydays.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
it was. And then all the stuff that happened with him and the Yankees, I guess the owner, if I'm not mistaken, they fired him. And as a coach, he coached 1 year, then they fired him, and then he went to the Mets. And when he went to the Mets, they won the World Series. And then they hired him back, so he went back to the Yankees, and they won the World Series. So it was kind of funny, but and then eventually fired him without like he worked there 2 years or something, and then they just fired him all out, said, "No, we're done." And he said, "I'll never go back to Yankee Stadium again." And I don't think he ever actually went back to the stadium. Maybe he did later when he right before he died, but and he and his wife stayed. They were married the whole time. They uh, in love, you know, in love. I'm the
Uh,
only one into this. It's all good. Let's talk about
oh,
something else.
well, I was going to say there's another documentary, Fastball. That's a good one too.
That's a good one.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, yeah.
Yeah, that's a great documentary. What's his name? Help me out. Nolan
It
Ryan,
was
right?
yeah.
Yeah, whatever. Nolan Ryan, right? Is that right, Aaron?
Yeah, that's right. Sorry about that.
Yeah.
I had some technical difficulties going on here on my phone.
It's okay. It's
Um,
okay.
I was
yeah,
going to
Nolan
answer
Ryan.
Andrew, but
So
I was pouring another bourbon, so I couldn't get to the mute button to unmute this. You know,
Oh,
looking
yeah.
at so
That's a good point.
yeah.
I'm drinking Fireball tonight. So
Oh,
it's
you're
very
no.
tasty. Very
On
tasty.
purpose?
yeah,
Yeah, it's
Is
good,
it
man. It tastes
is
like
it
Red Hot.
spicy and creamy? Yeah, I mean no.
Yeah. Very peppery on the front end.
well,
Yeah.
Vic
Speaking
said
of
it's.
baseball, I mean, go ahead, Aaron.
Well, I was going to say Vic said it's kind of a licorice flavor, so it's not creamy.
Yeah.
Definitely not.
Oh yeah,
No, and it's still
that's
not.
true.
I was expecting it to mellow out after about the first inch, but it's still a little peppery.
That's what she said.
You know what? I am betting that every veteran out there can relate to this. But that's what she said jokes are the greatest jokes ever. And they apply to anything that's said at any point in time. You just say that's what she said. And I will say civilians don't appreciate it. I don't understand it.
No, not at all.
Or your mom jokes. They don't appreciate those either.
Yeah. Yeah. Or your mom jokes. That's right. Man.
Even though MTV had several seasons of Yo Mama,
Yeah.
that was pretty good.
Oh man, that's good stuff.
But
So
hey,
tell us about
you're probably trying to move on, Andrew, but what was it this week was Willie Mays just passed away?
Yes. Yeah,
when was that?
93, I believe.
Yeah, he was
Willie
93.
Mays.
Wow. No kidding.
Say hey, Willie Mays.
Yeah. Dang, that's wild. I didn't even know that happened. I don't keep up with the current news, apparently.
Yeah, you're
Talk
not
to
on
us
the
about
face
Willie.
pages.
Well, I'm on the face pages, but I ain't doing the right things. I'm not looking at everybody else's stuff.
Yeah, if you're not watching a lot of sports stuff, you probably wouldn't have seen it. I mean, I was watching sports that day, and I didn't even see it till later that evening when I got the notification. Yeah.
No kidding. Man, that's like iconic for baseball, you know?
Yeah.
Man.
Well, it's
Vic,
I mean,
Vic is just shrugging his shoulders. He's like, "Yeah, I got nothing."
Well, I mean,
yeah. While you guys are watching baseball documentaries, I just finished watching a documentary on Gene Wilder.
Which, by the way, is a great documentary. I watched that one too.
It was a great documentary.
Yes.
I loved it.
That is hilarious. Speaking of things that don't go over real well nowadays, just about every movie he was in.
Blazing Saddles.
Blazing Saddles, that's right. Oh my God. Blazing Saddles.
I'm offended. I'm offended. I gotta stop. I'm just done.
Yeah, you would be. You would be. You know, I had them play the Blazing Saddle themes at my retirement. You guys notice that?
Yes. I loved it.
It's a great arrangement. It is awesome.
Yeah, I leaned over to Kelly and I was like, I swear to God, that's Blazing Saddles. She's like, no, it's not. I'm like, I'm pretty sure it is. And I just leaned back over. I was like, all right.
Oh yeah, it totally was. that brass quintet would play that for graduations for the basic students when they would play, and then it was at the conclusion of the ceremony, right? So every time they would play it, I would act like I was riding my horse down. Oh man, I love that tune. They do it really well too. Yeah, so
I'm glad
I just geeked out.
Justified that I knew what it was.
I think I was sitting in front of Talbot and I was like, is that and he goes, yeah, that's Blazing Saddles. I was like, that's hilarious.
Yeah, that was definitely a request. That, and then I had them play Waltzing Matilda, Follow Me, and what was the other one? Oh, Semper Fi. I had them play Semper Fi. Because, you know, that was the first tune I ever played, Semper Fi. Well, first tune I played in a high school band, which I was not in high school.
So what was your part? Tick, 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 tick.
No, it wasn't even that. It was downbeats. Are you kidding me?
Hey,
I was playing the bass drum. Boom, 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 boom. That's all I did. Just I followed the person in front of me, stay in step and follow the person in front of me, no matter what we do. That's what I did, and we made it. Yeah, that was my first gig.
Look at you now.
I know. Look at me doing nothing. This is great. Oh man. Oh, tell us about banana. What is it? The bananas?
Savannah Bananas.
Savannah Bananas. That's right. Tell us about Savannah Bananas, because I really like watching them on the YouTube.
They're basically baseball's version of the Harlem Globetrotters.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good way of putting it.
There was actually a documentary on them as well. So Savannah pretty much almost lost their baseball team, their minor league team, and then you were mentioning the guy earlier. I can't remember who you said, but anyway, this guy, had a great marketing idea for the Savannah Bananas. Like they couldn't. I don't remember, how many seats they were selling, but they weren't selling anything.
Yeah.
And the guy had a great marketing idea to turn this baseball team into kind of, again, baseball's Harlem Globetrotters, and started entertaining crowds, getting the crowds involved in random things. They've got like these special rules,
Mm-hmm.
so on and so forth. And I mean, that thing just blew up. And, before the show started, we were talking. When I was up there, I was going to go to a game, and I was looking in like December for tickets. I
Dude.
think tickets went on sale in like January. They sold out like the first day they were on sale for the
Yeah,
season.
it's ridiculous. Yep.
Yeah.
You can't get tickets unless you know somebody.
And then we were saying that the guy that I don't know if he's a manager, owner, I don't know what he is, but he came up with the idea because people have to pay so much for the soft drinks and the hot dogs and all that type of stuff. He was basically giving them out for free. And with the price of the ticket, you get a hot dog and a soda, and you get it when you walk in the gate and you go sit down, you have your hot dog, you have your soda. And man, that's incredible. Like marketing for that dude, he's insane. He has a couple of videos on the YouTube where he talks about marketing and talks about branding and those types of things. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, but
I don't know
stop,
his
There's
name
stop
though.
and look at what it did for him. I mean, yeah, it may
Yeah.
cost a little bit up front, but
Hmm.
now, I mean, it's unbelievable.
I
And
mean, they're
stop and
selling
think
out.
about, yeah, what a soft drink really costs,
Hmm.
and a hot dog or, whatever they sell there. I don't know. But, and that was one thing that my son and I were talking about. And I don't mean, I'm not going to make it long, but, baseball games are a social thing,
Hmm.
especially those that have season tickets and, they know everybody around them, everybody shows up and everybody just kind of sits there and BSs. They'll talk, talk, talk. Okay, there's game. Oh, there's a hit, go back and forth. But it's probably the only sport, football or hockey or that. I mean, everybody pays attention to the game, but baseball is that one sport. It's a social event. And he was
Hmm.
a genius to think that, okay, we'll take this and make it entertainment, let alone a game, but entertainment. And now this is what he transformed it into. He's a damn genius, is what he is. But
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, he's got how many teams are there now? I know for sure there's two, but I don't know how many total there are. There's the bananas. I don't know. I'll have to look it up. But yeah, I mean, they're doing really good stuff. And if I'm not mistaken, Aaron, you were saying that they were doing a lot of charity work and stuff like that as well.
Yeah, I'm trying to look it up right now, but they've done some like charity games and stuff like that. Get over here. I'm trying to look it up, but there's several teams. It's not just them. They are part of I believe the minor league baseball.
Are
I
they
don't
really?
know I don't know the details on it, but I don't know why it's not letting me. Hey, give me a few minutes to look it up, and
All right,
I'll
here we
give
go.
you
We
some
got
more
Savannah
information on it.
Savannah Bananas, the Macon Bacon, the Rocket City Trash Pandas.
Yeah.
I think that's my new favorite one. Savannah, I don't know what that is. Ghost Pirates. I don't know.
They're a hockey team.
Montgomery Biscuits. Is that a hockey team?
Yes. I actually have a buddy that I smoke cigars with down at my local cigar lounge. He's got season tickets to the Ghost Pirates. He's like, anytime you want to go, let me know. I was like, what about Savannah Bananas? He's like, I have a guy that's about to sell me his season ticket, so come back to me next year and maybe. So
Get out of
hopefully,
town.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, I was reading something different. I see banana ball teams, so they have their own league, banana ball. It's
Yeah,
the bananas premier protein, the party animals, that's the other one that I always see,
party
the
animals. Yeah, that's the
firefighters,
one.
and the visitors. So there's 4 teams right now
In the Banana League.
in the banana league. Yeah. And then I need to look up some of the rules, like because it is different, and it's very entertaining whenever you watch it. I think my favorite character, guy, person, whatever you want to call it, he's the guy with the stilts. Have you seen that guy? Anybody? No, just me. He's a guy in these stilts, and he comes out and he pitches, but he's got this hair like super long, like probably down mid back, right? Straight hair. Reminds me completely of like the 70s, right? The high school student with the hair that comes way down or what have you. That's exactly what he looks like, and it cracks me up every time I see him, and it is absolutely hilarious. And then the umpire is freaking hilarious too. Yeah, he does some crazy dances and all kinds of stuff. It's good. I'd love to go to a game.
Me too.
Maybe
And
they'll sponsor us.
I only live like 30 minutes away.
Are you
Yeah, and
serious?
Vic's gonna get us
Yeah.
all tickets. He's
Yeah,
gonna get
Vic.
us all in
Go down there
I,
and see if they'll sponsor us.
there.
I'm literally like 30 minutes away from Savannah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I
Yeah,
mean,
go
not
down and see
now,
if
but
they'll
where I live.
sponsor us. It'd be good.
Yeah, that's actually the what is it? The Macon Bacon is actually closer to us than Savannah is. But I don't know why I've always watching the videos of them and the guy on the stilt you were talking about, Andrew.
Yeah, lost him. Mike,
Yeah,
Heck,
they got you,
so they
man.
so they were part of the Coastal um, Plains League, but they're
Which is
now
a minor
strictly an
league.
ex. Yeah, it was part. It was sanctioned by Major League Baseball, but they're now part of. They're basically just barnstorming baseball teams, is what they
Okay.
consider them. They're just exhibition teams, but they do play in major league
You
stadiums
said
like around
you
the
said
country.
doo doo.
you said the doo doo.
They do.
There's
Said
another
doo-doo.
joke that
Yeah,
you can't tell to civilians because I get upset.
I know.
Sorry.
I heard it, but I tried to be professional. I was like,
Whatever.
Yeah. Mike's the
Yeah,
only professional on
I
here.
gave up on that when I retired. I'm done with that shit.
All right, this is
Sorry, go
starting to piss
ahead,
me off.
Aaron. What were you saying? Oh, yeah, that's nice.
Oh no, I was just saying that. Yeah, they're no longer. Well, they kind of played in the collegiate summer leagues, so they have their leagues that college players go and play in the summertime after college ball is over with,
Yeah.
and either prepare them for the next level or to come back, and finish their college career or what have you. But
yeah.
yeah, it's I couldn't find anywhere where it was kind of still maybe sanctioned by the Major League Baseball Association, but
Yeah, it's
I
probably
couldn't
not.
find that
I
anywhere.
imagine it's not because
Nah.
they're taking money away from them.
Oh yeah.
What were some of the rules? Because I know the rules are a little different, and they got some crazy rules too. Ooh, I dropped my phone. Oh, by the way, as you're looking up rules, my iPhone, because I'm an iPhone guy apparently. I went swimming the other day and forgot I had this in my pocket. Fell out of my pocket while I was swimming around in the pool to the bottom of the pool. The only reason I saw it is because I was swimming underwater with my goggles and I see my podcast case, right? Stay motivated, change your socks, and I have my thing there, right? I see that on the bottom of the pool and I'm like, what the hell? And I picked it up as my phone. I'm like, whoa. And I opened it up. Nothing. It was good. So Apple has done something right. Yeah. Nothing
What
happened
version
to
do
it. It
you
was
have?
under what's that?
What version do you have?
Yep. I do. I have one of those. Where do you
Never
where do you
mind. Give
find the
Carly another so
version?
she can answer that.
I know, I know.
Well,
Um,
some plans actually you pay for what I forget what they call it, but it's basically waterproofing. and it'll stay somewhat dry for a period of time to a certain depth, but
Yeah.
it's not. Yeah.
I got an iPhone 14 Pro Max. So kudos to Apple for
So
allowing me not to have to spend a ridiculous amount of money on another phone.
so you can't dive down in a submarine to see the Titanic, and never mind, too soon.
Can't use your phone as a joystick.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Use it as a
God.
controller.
Nice.
So
Nice.
banana ball rules.
Yeah.
So games are won by points instead of runs. So the most runs in an inning. So whichever team has the most runs in an inning gets a point, except for the final
Okay.
inning where every run counts as a point.
Okay.
Well,
So
that's the ninth inning.
Every inning is whoever has the most runs at the end of that inning gets
Yep.
1 point. Is that right?
Yep.
Okay.
That is correct.
So you can get 10 runs. It doesn't matter. They get 1 point for the inning.
Yep. Except for the final inning, which may not be the ninth inning because there's a 2-hour time limit. Straight up 2 hours.
Oh, wow.
That's it.
Well, Mike was saying
step.
earlier he went to the Mariners game. It was what, 3.5 hours?
2 hours and 45 minutes, he said.
Yeah.
2 hours 45.
Yeah, it was just shy of 3 hours.
Yeah.
Which is way faster than they used to be.
Well, that's what I was saying.
yeah.
I mean, I remember going to games that were 4 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
it's at least you were dedicated to a 4-hour time frame for a ball game.
Right.
Which some, at that point, if you're going to go, let me, your travel time, the cost to go to the game, and all that. I was like, well, okay, well, I want to be there for a little bit, but I want to be there 5 or 6 hours. At that point, it's like, no, it's done.
If you're paying $50+ for drinks and peanuts, I want it to last like 10 hours. I mean, that's a lot of money to spend for some peanuts and
Well, that's
Cracker
the
Jacks.
problem. I mean, if that's the problem, after like 2 hours, you go wandering back down to get a beer, and they're like, yeah, no more beer sales. It's like, what are you talking about? No more beer sales. I've been here 2 hours and no more beer sales. They're like, nope, we're done. I'm like, okay.
How am I supposed to sit through the rest of the game? Very nice. Sorry, Aaron, I cut you off like it was cool.
No, it's all right. That's why you go to the College World Series where you can sit through multiple games.
That's the ticket right there. Do they sell beer at the College World Series?
I'm pretty sure they do.
Do they? Mike's saying yes. I've never been.
I know they used to not sell at college games, but they do regular season college games now. They sell beer. So I'm assuming they do at College World Series.
Yeah, my daughter, who's up in Knoxville at University of Tennessee, her and her boyfriend, every weekend they're standing in line waiting to get tickets so they can watch. Knoxville's moved on, so I mean UT has moved on. So yeah, and I promise you, Jake, her boyfriend is drinking a beer. So yeah, he's a good guy. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying it in a negative way, but if there's beer in the air, he's drinking it. So
yeah,
especially at a ball game. As a former college player. Yep.
Yeah, we still love you, Jake. Don't worry about it.
Jake's a good kid. Except when I go up there, I'm like, hey, where's this? He's like, I don't have any more Jim Beam. I'm like, you freaking know I was coming up.
Wow.
You didn't buy any.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, Jake.
Yeah,
I thought you were okay.
Yep,
but
the knife hand. Yep.
You're getting a knife hand for sure if you don't have the Jim Beam ready when Mike comes to visit. I mean, that's just garbage.
There's no ice. What the hell?
No, and no Jim Beam or ice. Man.
But to go along with the whole baseball thing, have you guys seen, Aaron, you probably have seen it. My son, he started talking about it, and he sent me videos. The damn wiffle ball leagues.
Oh yes.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
yeah, I
It's
have
like,
seen that.
how the hell do these guys throw? I don't remember wiffle balls. Throw a freaking knuckleball with a damn wiffle ball, and these guys are, it's just creaming it or throwing these balls. They're like doing that, and
I saw one the other day on the YouTube that the guy was standing there and the pitch went behind his back, came in and hit the whatever it is, the strike zone thing, hit it, right? And they're like, is that a strike? It hit, but the ball literally went behind him. It was amazing. Yeah, that's a pretty
That's
cool
crazy.
league.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
don't absolutely
I
nothing
couldn't.
about that league, but
I didn't
it's
grow up
cool.
I
with
don't either.
being able to throw a wiffle ball like that. Granted, I was never a pitcher, couldn't do much of anything like that. But I mean, I don't understand. Apparently, there are different wiffle balls, or
Or
all I
Yeah,
know
glove.
my
is a
version
wiffle
of
ball. You
baseball
threw it and it
stopped
went
with the
about
whiff.
10 feet.
Say it again, Vic.
Said my version of baseball stopped with the whiff. Whiff, whiff. Dang it!
I was going to
You're
say
mowing weeds.
we used to just tape
Mowing
the wiffle
weeds.
ball up. Yeah, we used to just tape the wiffle ball up and then play regular.
Mm.
We put tape on it so it wouldn't go all over the place. We just play straight baseball with it.
Yeah, but
What?
how do they throw pitches like that? I mean, what?
I
I
don't
don't
know.
know.
I'm
It's
like with you,
crazy.
Andrew. I mean, my son sent me videos, and I'm like, how the hell? I mean, you're talking about a ball going up, doing this, and coming back in, and then I was like, what? How that? Any
I mean,
wiffle
you
ball I
think,
ever threw went about 10 feet, and
yeah, you think about it like regular baseball, right? Professional baseball, knuckleballers, and the ball, how it just kind of bounces around and stuff, right? As it's going in. Wiffle ball is like 100 times that because it's amazing how much movement there is in that little ball, right? And then how the heck do you hit it? I don't know.
With a bat.
It's amazing. That I don't. I don't hit it with a bat.
I mean,
Hey,
I know I
you
don't
got to
play much, but I
remember.
think that's how it works.
You got to remember, Andrew has problems hitting a softball with a bat.
Hey, now, why'd we have to go there?
yeah.
uh,
And
I
that was
may have
slow
not.
I'm
pitch,
just kidding.
and
I
that
He
may
was
just
not
slow
have
hit
been
to
a
pitch.
the
pro,
he
but
would
I
just
made
hit
the
to the
team.
fielders. Yeah,
I made the
he would
team.
just
Damn it!
yep. He would hit straight to the fielders. It found their
Yeah.
glove always.
Thanks. Thanks. You know what? I used to like you, Aaron.
So what you're saying is, as soon as he got a hold of one, he stood there and took the bat and did this and dropped it. He's like, oh shit, he caught it.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
was my
He would do backflips, and all of a sudden it was like a pop up. Like, what? Why are you flipping the bat?
get out of here,
Like,
man. You know
I'm just
what?
kidding.
So when I was in
He got off the
college,
plate and did that. He was like,
Yeah.
when I
Yeah,
was in
yeah,
college, my percussion studio had two percussion ensembles, and in the spring semester, we'd always play a softball game between the first and second percussion ensemble. So we'd always grab this old timpani, kettle drum for those that don't play, and we put it
yeah.
behind home plate, and we would take the head off, the drum head off, and we would fill it up with ice and beers. So like the whole point of the game was to put a beer in your back pocket, and if you got a hit, you try to grab the beer as you run into first base and drink as much as you could before you got to first base. And then if you're playing outfield, you set your beer down next to you. If the person hit the ball into the outfield and knocked over your beer, it was an automatic out. So that, I mean that was my version of softball.
Well, hold on, because this gets good because when we got to 29 Palms and we played in the softball league for the base.
Intramural softball. Yeah.
That's right, intramural softball. Let's tell us a little bit about that because your experience with that was absolutely hilarious.
I didn't know. Nobody told me these little rules. Like if the plays at first you're supposed to slide, or second the plays at second you're supposed to slide, or any of that. I don't know. So I just cracked it out into, out into the center field, I think. But it came down. It was mostly a grounder. So it went skittling across into the backfield. And here comes, I go running around first base, and nobody told me plays at second. Here comes the ball streaking into second plate. Nobody played. The girl playing second base was Kirby.
Well,
And so
well
I ran
endowed. Well
right
endowed.
into her. I'm like, oops, man, she got so mad. Ooh, you're supposed to slide. Oh, my bad.
So what you're saying is she was either from S1 or she was illegal.
I think it was the hospital. We were playing the
Yeah,
hospital.
no, because the
Okay.
hospital had all the jack dudes that would come out there and hit home runs every freaking time, man. You pitch a ball, home run. Pitch a ball, home run every time. Those
Yeah.
guys won the league every year. I
Yeah,
think
so
that's all they
that was
did.
my. So I get back to the. Of course, I was out. So I get back to the dugout, and the drum major, Gunny Gleason, is like, "What are you doing? You're supposed to slide at second." And I'm like, "I play drums for a living. What do you want?" My bad, dog.
Oh man, that's good times.
Yeah, all we had when I was there was a bowling league, and I got kicked off of that real quick. So I was like, yeah, you need to go. You can sit there and watch, but no, if you're done. I was like, all right.
How'd you get kicked off the bowling league?
Oh, man, they were super competitive.
Really?
Yeah, it was Joel Stafford, Master Sergeant Stafford,
Mm.
was a drum major, which I wish I could track down and find out where he's at now. But it was him. He's a good buddy of mine, Steve Schrader, and I don't remember who else was still on the team and on the league. But it was, it was with the hospital. There was like 4 teams from the hospital. It was
Yeah.
like corpsman and all that. But it was 7th Marines had a team, and 11th Marines, the artillery, artillery and tanks and all
Mhm.
that. And I
C&E
think it was like
school.
the first. Yep, the first. This like the second thing, second match we had, and Joel Stafford came up to me. He was like, "Hey, Corporal McNanny, come over here." And of course, at that point, you could still smoke in the bowling alley. He's got a cigarette in his mouth. He's like, "Hey, you got to know I love you, but you're fucking done. Get off the team." I was like, "Hi, drum major." He's like, "Stand over there." I was like, "Yeah, okay." And it's sad. I'm still calling him drummer. He's like, "Yeah, I love you, but you're done. Get the fuck off the team." I was like, "Okay."
Wait, you could smoke inside in
Yes.
California? Man, you are old.
Yeah.
Holy cow.
Back then, yeah. Well, you're as old as I am. I think you're older than I am.
Okay.
Oh, dang. Dropping the gauntlet. Look at that.
I'm
Shots
50
fired.
and a half. I'm 50 and a half. I don't know how old you are, but
How old are you, Vic?
51 in April.
51.
So
In
I'll
April?
be 51 in October. So,
no, I was turned
Oh.
51 this past April. Yeah.
Oh, you're
okay.
way older than he is.
Man, he's a grand old man.
Yeah,
Yeah,
6
he
months
is.
older. Woo.
Jeez. No wonder you get the
I,
cake at the birthday ball.
I do remember
Shut up.
hearing your name and sitting in the
Them's
BST
the fighting
classes
words.
here. The BST classes. I remember hearing that now. Yeah.
Very nice. Well, yeah, I didn't really have anything else to talk about tonight. You guys got anything? We hit all
This
the topics I wanted to hit.
this cigar is shit. I was pissed. I kept having to this is an Arturo Fuente, and the construction on this cigar sucks. I was pissed. This is a $12 cigar, by the way, and it was barely a Robusto. So it's like you saw all the runners. Every time I had a runner, I'd hold it up to the camera and show the runner. And I've had to relight it once. So I don't know what's going on with this thing, but and it never really mellowed out. It got some earth tones there in the middle there, but it's starting to get like very peppery again. So I don't really care for it.
Where's it from?
So
I think Fuente is Dominican. I think. Yes, Dominican Republic.
So we're not looking for a sponsor from there.
See, it just went out. Fuck that
It's
thing.
because you don't know how. Never mind. I won't say it. Cheers.
Cheers.
So we had our. I was hoping Mark was going to be on here. We had our time limit.
You mean the real old man?
No, we're good. We can because we started late, right?
Yeah.
We're good.
Yeah, yeah. No, I was going to talk about being out in Washington State. I know in
Yeah,
our
go ahead.
text message that I had, Mark usually has his California comment.
Yeah, he does.
And
Well, that might be
that
why
was,
he's not here.
yeah, well, that's what I'm assuming. They're hunting him down. He may be in hiding, but that was. And I've noticed it over time going out to see my son out there because he's been out there 5 years now. 5, yeah, it's going on 6 years. But every time we go out there, and it's amazing. I grew up in Northwest Pennsylvania,
Mhm.
but having been in the Marine Corps, we've all experienced people from all over the country, and even people I know people that were from Canada that were U.S. citizens or were United States Marines or different things like that. But I didn't, I've seen it and I've realized it, but it's amazing how go from East Coast to West Coast, different parts of the country. How is that good?
It's good.
Drinking your
It is good.
Fireball, yeah, that's
I'm
gonna screw
drinking the
you up like
Fireball.
it. That's like drinking peach schnapps, dude. You're gonna be hurting drinking that crap, man.
No, man. You gotta.
Oh,
Nah, I'll be all right.
all right,
It tastes like
but
the Red Hots. I'm telling you, it's Red Hots. That's all it is.
keep
Stick with
telling
the
yourself
moonshine.
that. Yeah, keep telling yourself that. I
Oh
disappear,
my
or did he disappear?
Ah, I don't know. Are you here? Mike, testing 1, 2, 3, 4, 12, 16. Mike,
I hear all of
hello.
you. Hello, hello, hello.
I got you now.
I
You're
hear all
good,
of
Mike.
you. I can see all of you guys moving, but apparently I'm not.
I think you've been hanging out with Mark too much. They're out to
Yeah.
get you.
But anyways, what I was getting at was it's amazing how like Washington State is the land of, it's like California or New York State. It's a land of, acceptance and not judgmental. But there's some of the rudest people. And I can't say everybody out there is that way because they don't all view things that way. But, we went in it's Fred Meyer's is, a big grocery chain out there.
Mm.
Went in there. We got out there. We flew out Thursday, got there early Thursday evening, ate dinner with our son and his girlfriend. And we're like, hey, what else? You got this, and that, anything at the house? He's like, no, not really. So we stopped. We're walking in to the grocery store, and I've seen similar things, but when you've got a dude wearing purple Crocs, no pants, a jockstrap, a
What?
white tank top, I don't mean to come away across the way it's going to sound, but a white beater tank top.
Yeah.
He's got a mohawk.
But I apparently he wasn't using it as a wife beater.
No, he's got a lip stretcher out and his ears all this and that stretched out. And, he's got a different colored mohawk on top of his head. Nobody looks at him. Nobody even thinks. Nobody says a word. There's no judgment passed. So we get, a cart. I call it a cart because that's what I grew up as. But, in the South, it's called a buggy, so going down the aisle, and come around a corner, and some woman, in her Washington, is she got her Columbia pants on and her sandals on and all that, and I was like, "Oh, excuse me." I said, "I'm sorry." She looks at me like I was the biggest jerk on the face of the planet. And she went down the aisle. We're going down another aisle. I turned around. I said, "Oop." I said, "I'm sorry, ma'am." She goes, why would you call me ma'am? How do you know how I identify?
Wow.
And I was
Are you
like,
serious?
I'm sorry. I came around the corner, didn't look, and just kept going on and on and on. And my wife looked at her and she's like, I was like, what? I looked at my wife and I looked at my son and he's like, yeah, it's just how it is. He's accepted it. He doesn't even worry about it
Wow.
anymore. And his girlfriend, she grew up out there. So, but she lived in Southwest Georgia. So now she's gotten that mentality kind of too. And of course, Aaron, you met Kelly, and Vic, you met Kelly, and Andrew, Kelly, but by nature of just who she is, I was like, I'm sorry. I just looked at her. I said, I apologize. Well, who are you to think you know what I am, what I, my pronouns are, and all that? And Kelly looked at her. She goes, "Okay, bitch. Well, excuse us." And I was like, I was like, oh shit. I was like, oh. I turned around and looked at her. I said, "Why'd you say that?" She goes, "I won't even get into what the conversation was, but she goes, okay, bitch, excuse us." We went down another aisle. I was like, "Why would you say that to her?" She goes, "Well, she got a dick. I don't know what she's got. I don't know." But I was like, "Okie dokie." I'm sorry. I
Oh
probably
my
should have said
God.
all this on the podcast right now because
It's
now
okay
you're gonna
because
have to
that's
delete it.
funny.
But
No,
I
I'm
was
not
like,
deleting
but I mean,
anything. Are you kidding me?
it's unbelievable.
I guess a biz could be non-binary.
Yeah,
Hmm.
it could be. Yeah.
Yeah, it's true.
I
That's
was
true.
like, good Lord. But that's what I looked at him. I was like, you deal with this every day. And he's like, you just have to get used to it. I'm used to it now, so I don't worry. And he even got it was last year in his junior year, he had to write a paper on he had to pick a topic, and I don't remember what the topic was, but it was he wrote a paper on it was a doctor over a surgeon over in was a European surgeon. I don't remember what it was at. I don't remember his name. It was a he, and the professor actually gave him a zero on a grade on the paper because it's like how we all grew up. It's like Andrew Cox, blah 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 blah. Then from that point on, you say he. You
Yeah.
don't have to keep repeating
Hmm.
Andrew Cox, and then maybe halfway through you say, Andrew this or that. But he said he, and this professor gave him a zero on the paper because she said, "Well, you don't know what his pronouns are. You keep claiming he's a he, although he's flat out said, 'Hey, you know, I'm a man,' stuff like that."
So
Well,
he got a zero?
well, that was the initial, and he called me on it, and he's like, I don't know, he called me or we were talking, and he was like, "Yeah, I got a zero on this." He was talking to me about it, and I was like, "You know what, dude?" I said, "Send your professor an email and play the game, play the card." He goes, "What do you mean?" And you guys know what I'm getting ready to say is play the card. And he emailed his professor and said, "I'm offended. I'm offended that you would," because basically the professor told him he was not necessarily a racist, but he was not sympathetic to other people and didn't understand this and this and that. And he played that card back to her, and she's like, "Oh, okay, well, that's fine." And she gave him a passing grade on it. And he called me. He's like, "Hey, Dad, it worked." I was like, "What do you mean it worked?" He goes, "Oh, I played the card back, because she lashed out at him, and he sent me the email, and I read it, and I was like, she basically called you everything on the face of the planet." He goes, "Yeah." I said, "Well, play it back. Go ahead and play the card." And he did, and she goes, "I apologize so much. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have spent that. It's my fault.
All right left until you call him out on it.
Yes." And he was all excited about it. I was like, "Well, just play that damn card, man. Just go ahead and play it."
Well, that seems to be the norm for
Yeah,
certain a certain political dynamic. We'll just say it, Democrats, right?
yeah,
It seems to be the norm. They want to point the blame at everybody else, but when they're doing the same thing,
yeah.
they don't, whatever.
Yeah, it wasn't this
Gotta love
time.
politics.
It was last year. I had,
It's,
one of these,
it's
a shirt on it had that on it, the American flag on it. And I had somebody, we were in the same grocery store, told me I was a racist and knew I was a Republican for wearing a shirt like that. It was like,
With an American flag.
yes.
Hey, Aaron, be careful wearing my shirt out there.
Yeah, stay motivated.
Yeah,
I'll be
stay
right back.
motivated when
I'll
you're
be
getting
right
the
back.
crap beat out of yourself.
Uh-oh.
Did he
You
leave?
just got taken out.
I think he said,
Aaron
"Hold
got
my
taken
beer."
out. Oh, he's going out to find somebody. He got worked up, man. He's ready to take them all down. He's got We the People back there. He's going to drag somebody back, strangling them in the picture, right in front of We the People. I love it. America.
Merkin.
But why is
Hold my
it?
beer.
Why do we live in that kind of world? I mean, that's my point with that, tolerance and acceptance. But when someone shows you some semblance of politeness, why is it? I'm like, "Oh, excuse me," or "I'm sorry, excuse me, ma'am." And that's how I grew up. I didn't
Yeah.
grow up in Pennsylvania with, you know, Mr. Mike or Miss Kelly or Mr. Vic or Mr. Andrew. It was always their Mrs. or Mrs. last name. But that's a
Mm-hmm.
big thing in the South. It's Mr. Mike, Miss Kelly, stuff like
Mm-hmm.
that. And it took me a little
Yeah.
bit to get used to that. But it's not a sign of disrespect. But why when you get out to California or in those areas, why is it? I mean, that level of, we're accept everybody, everybody's equal, everybody's this. But then you'll turn around and be the biggest jackass or rudest person on the face of the planet.
Well, the reality is not everybody is equal. Even though they're looking out for the individuals that are different, you're basically excluding those that are, us, the regular
Yes.
population, and
Yeah.
you're discriminating against us. Um, I don't know. It is what it is,
I don't know.
I guess.
I know Vic's
I
got
would say
something to
go vote.
say. Vic wants
Yeah,
to say
he's
something.
smirking
So.
he's smirking like it's
Vic doesn't
cool.
want to say anything because
He's like, I'm a politician. I gotta keep my mouth shut.
I don't have to keep my mouth shut. I don't give a shit. Right now, we're living in a time where feelings are more important than facts. And that's where all this starts. Number two is we're very much in a victim mentality society right now. Everybody's got to find a reason to be a victim about something. They got to have their feelings hurt or they got to be offended about something. That's the counterculture right now is that you got to be offended about something. I mean, even if you don't have any idea what you're being offended about, you got to be offended about something. So
or
now
offended
it's
for
like,
somebody else.
even if you don't have something to be offended about, you're offended for somebody else. Yeah. And now, even beyond that, we are in a culture where intellectual people are being silenced so that stupid people aren't offended. And
I'm okay for that because I'm in the stupid people category, and I'm okay with that part. So I'm just going to throw that out there.
Well, that kind of goes along with what you had sent all of us, Andrew, about what's his name? The you sent it earlier today. God, what's his name? The
I send a lot of things, man.
The reporter. God, no, I was thinking about it before we started.
Did I send it to the group?
Yes.
It couldn't have been that one that I said.
No, it was. No, he was talking about the devil. If I were the devil, warning from 1965.
I'm the one that sent that. Or no, that you were the one.
Oh, you sent it. I'm sorry.
I don't even remember it. I don't even know what you're talking about.
There you go, Andrew.
Trader Joe's.
Yeah, man. Where'd you get that?
TikTok shop, man.
What?
Got it from China. You got it from China. TikTok shop.
That is awesome. I saw it a while ago and I'm like trying to get close to it. Thank you for getting closer to the camera so I could actually read it. That was pretty good.
Show that again, but hold it down a little lower. Lower. There it is.
What does it say at the belly? Like at the bottom?
Yeah.
Selling
since
what?
1942.
Selling out America since 1942.
Oh.
Love it.
Oh man, that's nice. I got to give me one of those. That's pretty sweet. Yeah, I like it.
Oh,
I mean,
apparently, I can pull up the clip. I thought you sent it, Andrew, but
yeah, I don't remember. I may have. I send a lot of stupid stuff. So
it wasn't stupid. It was God, I can't remember his name now, and it's not pulling up right for some reason.
Are you talking about the Barron Trump thing and the time?
No. Not
Did you
that
guys
one.
look?
Yeah.
Come on. If y'all don't believe in time travel, I'm telling you, time travel is where it's at. How do you think the Simpsons come up with all their stuff?
I don't know about time travel, but I think there's some people out there that can kind of read the future.
Yeah.
And just based off of kind of the way things are at certain times throughout history. If you think about around the time that book was written, right?
Mm-hmm.
What was that after Civil War, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Kind of in the industrial era, where
what was it, like 18
west? Yeah,
1888, I think. It was the first book. Barron Trump's Marvelous Underground Journey. Was the name of it. Yeah, 1888. That's pretty wild, man.
Yeah, but if you look at, that's the other thing too, is like people look at this kind of small period, starting kind of with Obama's tenure as president till now, and you got Biden, and kind of how things have just slowly became like worse for Americans. There was way worse times for Americans if you think about it throughout our history.
History repeats itself, man.
Right.
It just repeats itself.
That being said, you just can't let it go, though. You know what I mean? You can't let it continue to fester and build, and another 4 years of Biden, and then another Democrat after that. It'll end up, it'll take some time, but
I think of it more as a pendulum. It swings to one side, but it's the counterculture that causes it to swing back to the other side. So there has to be enough of a counterculture that says, no, this whole illegal immigrant thing is out of hand. We got to, at some point, people have got to say that this is enough, and the
Yeah.
pendulum starts to swing back the other way, but
Yeah, you're right.
I don't, I don't know that the pendulum has made it all the way to a stopping point yet. Before it's going to, hopefully, maybe we'll find out. Maybe this coming up election, who knows? I hope. But it's funny when you look at countercultures across history. We're definitely in the throes of a pretty what's the word I'm looking for, extreme counterculture right now, I guess, to the point again where where the whole culture is kowtowing to 1% of the population. This
Yeah.
whole transgender thing, all that kind of stuff, and it's getting ugly. I mean, there's when you look about that video about the guy that 1965, I just reposted it to everybody.
Yeah.
It was basically saying 1965. Here's like everything this guy predicted, about the breaking up of the nuclear family, and how
Yeah. The
media is spreading
Star
hate
Wars
and discontent.
religion. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. And I mean, all of that was predicted back then, and
Uh,
even back then, that was the counterculture back then, and the pendulum swung one way, and now we're swinging back in that direction again. So it's hopefully we're at the top of the arc soon.
But by that video, I mean, even by that philosophy, with that started with religion, but
mhm.
it was projected. It was a process. I mean, it was going to be a slow process, but as long as we do this and we keep doing this, yeah, we may have a hiccup, but we're going to get to where we want to be. And that was the point of that video.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a
Yep.
good video. I wish I could play it for everybody. I don't know how to do that. So if you guys are looking for some high tech stuff going on this podcast, you have tuned into the wrong channel because this country boy don't know how to do that.
We'll get there.
I'm not even, unless I hire somebody that knows how to do that, and I ain't
Oh, you're
hiring
trying to play
nobody
the video?
anytime soon. I don't know how to do that, man. Can you play the video? Get out of here. You know how to do
You're
it?
trying to attach it to this?
I
don't
think
know. I'm not doing anything. I'm just sitting here saying that
okay.
I don't know what I'm doing. Other than having a good
Drinking
night.
Fireball.
Have you guys had Red Hots? You know what I'm talking about, right? Red
Yeah.
Hots? Yeah? No? Am I the only one that's eating Red Hots?
Yes. I've had
Okay,
Red Hots.
okay. Mike is with me.
Or a hot
Nick,
tamales or
no. Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, the candy hot tamales. I was thinking actual tamales. Whoa, what the heck just happened? I hope everybody can see this. That's amazing.
Paul Harvey made this prediction in 1965 of what's happening right now. This is wild. You have to see this.
If I were the Prince of Darkness, I'd want to engulf the whole world in darkness, and I'd have a third of its real estate and 4/5 of its population, but I wouldn't be happy until I had seized the ripest apple on the tree. So I'd set about, however necessary, to take over the United States. I'd subvert the churches first. I'd begin with a campaign of whispers. With the wisdom of a serpent, I would whisper to you as I whispered to Eve, do as you please. To the young, I would whisper that the Bible is a myth. I would convince them that man created God instead of the other way around. I would confide that what's bad is good and what's good is square. And the old I would teach to pray after me, Our Father, which art in Washington. And then I'd get organized. I'd educate authors in how to make lurid literature exciting so that anything else would appear dull and uninteresting. I'd threaten TV with dirtier movies and vice versa. I'd peddle narcotics to whom I could. I'd sell alcohol to ladies and gentlemen of distinction. I'd tranquilize the rest with pills. If I were the devil, I'd soon have families at war with themselves, churches at war with themselves, and nations at war with themselves, until each in its turn was consumed. And with promises of higher ratings, I'd have mesmerizing media fanning the flames.
I just busted right inside.
Holy cow. I mean, tell me that's not where we're at right now.
Right now,
Right now, like right now, right now.
right now, right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yep.
Aaron, I don't know if that's going to come across on the actual podcast when I put it together because I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
But I hope I can actually put it in there because it is amazing how true that dude, like everything that he was saying was happening
Paul
right now.
Harvey. Oh yeah, Paul Harvey was. Yeah, there was several of them like him that was
60
definitely.
years ago.
Yeah,
Yeah. Did you say
very
60?
wise.
Yep, 60 years ago.
Isn't that amazing? Like these individuals could see so far in the future and think about how things would develop and say, yeah, if I were going to do this, this is what I would do, you know?
So I don't. I
And
don't.
literally people just do it.
So I don't know if it was they could predict or see into the future as much as it
Hmm.
was they knew some of the insider stuff that was going on to kind of get us to where we are now. If you think about it, so a lot of those
Yeah, that's a
people,
good point.
especially like Paul Harvey, he was privy to a lot of information that you know
Hmm.
most Americans aren't privy to, right? By nature of his job. So he probably knew people who knew people, and word gets around, and he starts thinking, okay, yeah, if they're doing this now, I can see them doing this to have this later or this happen later. You know,
Yeah,
so
that's a
It
good
just
point.
it begs the question, like, how strategic is it that we are in this position that we're in right now? As a country and a society, when they were predicting it 60 years ago, laying it out, the plan 60 years ago, and then here we are, living it. It's you can't help but think that it was strategic.
Well, you can even go back to Bible times. When you look at the things that they talk about in the Bible and Revelation and all this other stuff that's happening, man, you could apply that to right now for sure. You know, I mean, it's possible we're living in the end times. Now, granted, everybody thought that before, before I was born, but um, every day we get worse and worse. Think about the countries, or not countries, the groups of individuals that were destroyed because of the way they believed and the way they thought, and how God was like, "No, smack them down and whatever." Uh, we're kind of well beyond, if you think about it, well beyond what they were, right?
Well beyond Sodom and Gomorrah.
Yeah, absolutely. It's kind of crazy.
Well, like you said, Andrew, history repeats itself. That tactic, do you think this country or other countries haven't used that on other countries to
Mm.
overthrow governments? I mean, it's an insider tactic that our own country or those that are in positions are doing to overthrow their own government. To
I mean, you think about that, and how they have manipulated. Maybe manipulated is not the right word, but how they have actually changed uh, different countries and how they think. When we're talking about the United States, now that I mean, they're doing that with their own population as well, and what we think and how we do things and all that type of stuff.
one of the current events that you can just take a look at and understand how government can do things, right? Um, Look at Trump.
Hmm.
Look at what they've done. Oh well, we don't have a part in this. Bull crap! You think you didn't have all those conversations? You didn't. You think you didn't bring those people to the White House to have conversations about what you're going to do to him and all that? Oh, well, it's just Trump. They're just trying to go after Trump. If they'll do it to Trump, they'll do it to anybody.
And it's way easier to do it to everybody else. The
Yeah,
average Joe Schmo, this guy right here that's sitting here with this
yeah.
podcast, man, they're
I
probably
can't
going to come
afford to
down
lean a
heavy
hobble.
on me.
I can't afford to
Say,
lean a hobble.
yeah,
You know?
Yeah. Didn't Trump predict that?
Yeah,
I think
You
so.
think they're
Yeah.
coming after me? They're not coming
yeah,
after me. Th're coming after all of you.
Hmm.
yeah,
I mean, heck, they already got Mark. He's not even here.
Yeah.
yeah,
Man, poor Mark. If he don't only bought that daggum electric car, right?
yeah.
Man,
And they took
Yeah.
a 2x4 to Krista. So
I
Yeah.
know. I mean, they're getting desperate. Two by
yeah,
fours to Krista, taking Mark out
taxi
because he won't
cabs to
buy a
Mark.
daggum. Yeah, taxi cabbing him.
Well, they already
I
got
mean,
you, Andrew. You're not talking about it,
All
but
yeah, all joking
you
aside,
lost
yeah,
the
they took
awning.
your awning.
You took the
that's true.
awning out there.
Those bastards took my awning like it was cool. I don't know how they did it, but by God, they sent their waves out from the special satellite things that they got going on, and they
Yeah.
infiltrated my brain housing group and made me drive forward when I shouldn't have drove forward. You know?
That's exactly what they did. They infiltrated your brain housing group. I mean, all joking aside, that's exactly what they're doing. They're trying to get in your head, in our heads.
That's true.
To make
Yeah.
us,
I mean,
to
not
make
about
us.
my awning. Oh, that was my doing. Okay. I admit it. I'm a jackass. But
We
we've
know.
all known that from the beginning. That's
No.
nothing new.
Now, what it's called is you're human. That's what
Human?
it comes down to. And we're all
Mm,
human.
that's a good point.
We all make mistakes. Now, none of us is perfect, but there seems to be this intolerance for that now. And nobody can accept that it's everybody has to be a certain way. And if you're not bowing down or willing, if you call somebody sir or ma'am, it's like, how dare you? It's like, okay, well then I apologize. I don't know what you are. I can call you they, it, whatever. I mean,
I think that when everything's boiled down, if you call everybody fucker, it's all good.
It's gender neutral. Fucker is gender
Yeah,
neutral.
absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. Term of endearment,
yeah,
right?
Yeah.
I mean, it can be
yeah,
anything.
it's just amazing word. It's an adverb. It's an adjective. It's
A noun.
Yeah.
noun. Yeah.
And I don't
Pronoun.
even know what those words even mean.
It's because you're an
Who
Aggie.
care?
That's why.
Who care?
I mean, even an awning can be a fucker.
Yeah.
I'm
It's
pretty sure
true.
that's what it got.
My awning
I'm pretty sure
definitely
that's
was.
I'm pretty sure that's what it got called before it got tossed in the dumpster.
3 or 4 times.
More than once. More than once. Oh my God. That's a good point. That's a good point.
Anything
We are
can be a
way
fucker.
over time. I look at
Yeah.
Yeah.
we're
I
way
was
over.
gonna
We're like
say.
20 minutes over.
I am
All
going to have
right.
to drop soon, so
Yeah. Hey, well, you're going to drop, Aaron. So go ahead and give me your words of wisdom before we get out of here.
oh, words of wisdom. So I'm not going to look anything up. I'm just going to try to think of something off the top of my head. So
You're going to wing it?
yeah, I'm gonna try to wing it.
All right.
If I don't want to go with that.
You're trying hard.
Yeah, I'm
You want me
trying
to come
hard.
back to you? You want me to come back to you?
Yeah, go ahead and come back to me.
All right. I got
Think
you.
of
I
a
got
good
you.
one.
Okay, Vic, go ahead.
Let's see. I don't know. If nobody's standing in your way, it's because you're not going anywhere. It's,
Hmm. That's actually pretty good. Yeah. I like that. Did you just come up with that? Surely you heard that
no.
somewhere.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
That was an Ed Hayes. That was a Hayesism.
Yeah, Hayes. Yeah. That's
Nobody's
good.
in your way. It's because you're not going anywhere.
Yeah. That's true though. Yeah. It's a good point. All right, Mike, what do you got?
Sometimes you just have to say fuck it.
No truer words right there.
Wow. That just summed up pretty much everything. Yeah, that was pretty good. Aaron, you're
But
screwed, man. I don't know what to
wait. Is
tell
that
you.
as a noun or a verb?
However you want to take
Uh,
it.
Okay.
oh,
That's up to you to how you want to decipher it. You can take it however you want to take it.
wow.
Okay.
That was pretty good. I mean, Aaron, good luck, man. I don't know what to tell you,
Yeah,
dude.
I'm gonna have to go with an oldie but goodie that I've heard quite a few times. If you see something, you hear something, you see something, say something.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, that's a good
I'll
point.
leave it. I'll leave it at that.
Yeah, I like it. You know, I don't like it just because your shirt says the Lost Art with Andrew Cox. Stay motivated, change your socks. Um, but I've got to say, that is one smooth looking shirt you got on there.
It is. I like it.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
best part, it grips and biceps, so it makes them look a little bit
Yeah, it
bigger.
does. Yeah, it does. Hey, in case you're wondering, Aaron, I specifically made the arms a little smaller for us
Yeah,
guys
yeah.
that may not have the bigger biceps. So,
I knew you did. I knew you did. And the waist is a little bit bigger, so it doesn't like squeeze your stomach. Yeah.
you know me too well. Too well.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's good. Hey guys, thanks for joining. I appreciate you. You guys freaking make this awesome, and I at least have a good time. I don't know about you guys, but I do. I have a good time. So thanks for joining me and talking shop a little bit here. But to all the listeners out there, hey, if you're struggling, need some help, you need some assistance, you need just somebody to talk to, you can always dial 988, press option 1. That will get you in contact with somebody that can help. You can also text 838-255. And you can go to veteranscrisisline.net, click on that chat icon. Any of those options are going to be able to get you with somebody that's going to be able to help you out. Remember that I care about you. This podcast crew here, they care about you. All the veterans out there care about you. One veteran life lost is one too many. So please, please, please reach out for help. With that, hey, podcast crew, you guys rock. I don't care what anybody says about you, especially Mark. I don't care what Mark says about you guys. To all the listeners out there, stay motivated, change yourself.